point in time. Not Jägersfear. Something else is watching you. Some other presence.
Guys, I feel that something is following us, or maybe watching us from a distance.
I roll a group thing. Yeah, I didn't want to bring it up, but I'm gotten that feeling ever since we got closer to the village. Agreed. Again, it's likely just the fell influence that protects this place. Yeah, but what happens when it stops, watching us and starts wanting something else?
We shouldn't take it lightly.
Jägersfear did say that he's ready to talk with us and we can talk with him whenever. So imagine, up until then, we should be fine. Ugh. Yeah, you keep walking around the place. You never spot the thing that you feel, you detect out there, at least visually. You never see it. There are some people that begin walking out of their abodes, or windows that get open, front doors that get open, and stuff like that, as these, fucking outsiders are walking around our town. Also, I realized I need to move over. There you go. But, no one ever really stops to, go up to you and talk to you or anything. Like, they just sort of are content just staring at you aggressively. With the 23 perception you have, they are all armed. They are all armed, and you're not 100% sure of the magnitude, but they all have a very natural familiarity with the weapons they're using. They are well experienced with them. Even a little kid, you see him through in a jar door halfway open. You see him do a fucking knife trick. He spins the blade across the back of his hand and catches it again. And you're just like, what the fuck? The kid's 6 years old. What do you mean? The kid does knife tricks, bro. Yeah. Everyone in this village does seem pretty well experienced in using weapons. But no one comes up to talk to you. Any of you. Is there anything you're looking for? Anyone? Anything you're curious about? Thinking emoji.
Yeah.
I got you. Here, I got you. Thinking emoji. There you go. In fairness, Delva isn't here to be at his own home village, so you have to probably come back here at some point.
I think since there is quite a bunch of people who are armed,
yeah,
even that kid,
even that kid, yeah,
safe to back away from them.
Do you leave, or do you talk with Jägersfear first, or do you just peace out?
I can't pronounce the person's name, I'm sorry.
Svea.
The person who saved you.
Svea. Yeah, Svea.
You talk with him?
Yeah.
You guys begin walking out to the Jaeger's abode. Again, the full stone building that is set up on the highest post in this entire village. And he opens up his door and ushers you guys inside. To his credit, he is a pretty good host. He gives you guys some refreshment, which is some not tea, not hot steep tea, more like tea in the sense of I have water and I put leaves in it and it's steeped for a period of time, so therefore it's tea. Yeah, he gives you some tea for refreshments. He gives you some snacks, but they're definitely more field ration sort of snacks as opposed to French fries or chips or whatever, crisps and all that. And he just simply, asks, why are you guys looking for his village and stuff like that. I would ask you, how much information do you tell the Jaeger? Do you hold any information back, or do you just tell him you're up front, just like, hey, this is why we're here?
I think we'll hold some information back.
What do you hold back then? He knows you're looking for the village. Like, that one's a give me. But he doesn't know why you're looking for this village.
We'll just say that it's a friend that we
Right.
came on behalf.
And this friend is not here.
Currently, no.
Will you be bringing them here?
We will be meeting up with them.
How many people will you be bringing?
I don't think we should tell you that.
He quirks an eyebrow at you. Very well. Understandable. It has been some time since this village has had guests. Decades. Centuries. If you are bringing people here, then do try to notify me. The road west of here. There is a waystone. A waystone that has 4 sundered boulders next to it. Smashed and shattered. When you are on your way, run your hand along it. When you run your hands along it, think of my name. The stone is days west of here. Perhaps you might be faster, perhaps not. But you will not make it from there to here in a day. Do this, and I will know that you are coming. And we can vary the village. Not Seeker Svea. Jaeger Svea.
You know, the instant you said it, yeah. Thank you.
All good, all good. Jaeger.
There you go.
There we go. The Drexnap should not bother you on the way out. But he sets down some vials. If when you come back it bothers you on the way in, these are some antidotes I prepared.
Thank you. We really appreciate your help.
In times of crisis, our true natures come about. And I will not be found wanting. You're free to stay for the evening. You can stay here. I do not have rooms or beds, but you may stay in here. It is warmer. But if you would like to stat out now, while the sun is still out, do not let me keep you.
I think we will stay here. Thank you.
Benson's like, we are? He just looks like, we are? Your generosity is very appreciated, Jaeger. If there's anything we can do to assist around town during our stay here, help with firewood, forage, or supplies, I speak for myself and I think some others here, and that we will make ourselves available. Your things on it. I think that can be arranged. Get a bit of surplus in, especially if you're coming back later. So, you decided to stay the evening. Make me a persuasion check with advantage. Well. Another crit. Hey guys, I think I found who took your guys' luck.
Give it back.
Girl, what the fuck? Hey, sure.
I will have my vengeance.
Everyone's universally mad.
Dorky, it's okay. You give them your inspiration all the time. It balances out. So it's called karma.
Come on, dorky.
As you guys are helping, Zol found his activity. It's chopping wood. It's like the best thing in the world. Chopping wood. Which, by the way, that is an actual study done. Compared to other forms of activity that increase testosterone, the most effective one is chopping wood. I'm not joking. That is an actual thing.
That's actually hilarious.
So scientifically, chopping wood is the manliest thing you can do. Fact proven, baby. Fact proven. So Zol's chopping wood.
I have chopped a lot of wood in my time.
There you go. So there you go. Zol's chopping wood. And Marika's actually helping with do some water purification, stuff like that. Vincent and Wood and Gwyn actually go help hunt and forage for stuff. Abigail, you don't really see her. She does something, but you never really see her. And Halfren is just sort of following you. And you're just sort of doing some foraging, some firewood gathering for Zol to chop, stuff like that. But as you're going around the village, going to and from, back and forth, in and out of the threshold and shit like that, you do see this kid, not the same kid, not the little boy that had a knife. It's a different kid. Well, I walk up to you. She looks about, maybe 10 to 12 range. It's hard to tell. Yeah. She walks up to you, and peculiarly enough, she is not armed. Compared to everyone else in the village, she appears to be the only one that isn't armed. And she doesn't say anything. She just begins following you. From a distance. She's trying her damnedest to keep sneaking.
Deep kind of stops and goes up to the little girl, crouched down to the child level.
Oh.
And
You trying to go up to her?
Yeah.
She runs away.
After her, go get her.
She rolled an 11 for stealth. Your passive perception totally spots her, and then when you begin approaching her, she's like, "I've been found out," and then she runs away back to a certain house. I didn't think they were that intimidating.
Yeah.
Do you want to go try talking to her? Or do you just want to keep getting back to work?
I think we should just get back to work. There's no need to further scare the child.
Halfren nods, and the two of you get back to work. So she tries to sneak up on you guys again. And this time she's way worse, apparently, at a 6. She is trying to lean behind a tree and holding onto the branch, and then the branch snaps. And you saw her out of the corner, realize sneaking to where she was, but at the loud breaking of a branch, a semi-dried branch, you're just okay, kid, come on, come on, have some class, goddamn, get good. And when you turn to look at her, she hides behind the central, the trunk of the tree, and Heather just looks at you and she just shrugs, I don't know. Do you go up to her again?
I'm thinking, one sec.
This is very important. Very, very important.
Start doing knife tricks. It always works.
Beat my like. I don't know if using that knife trick will work. You know what? Let's do that. Yeah.
You okay? Okay. Okay. Roll me your performance.
Advantage?
Advantage.
Normal?
Advantage. Pretty good for that. That was the first roll too. You didn't need advantage. I feel like we. You don't have proficiency in this, do you? No, you don't. Your dex is 20. Is that correct? You have a +5 in it.
Sorry, say that again.
What is your dex mod?
Oh, 16.
Okay, so you have a +3. So we'll use your dex in place of charisma for this because knife tricks are definitely dexterity based. So that would increase it from a +1 to a +3. So that'd actually be a 21. And I feel like we gave proficiency in knife throwing before when you were at the cradle. I think.
I feel like you're right.
Makes sense.
Because
Yeah.
our performance went so well.
think-
Yeah, before.
I
Yeah.
think I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then.
Maybe there was-
So as a result, if that's the case, then you would equivocally get a. Actually, I'm gonna add it on your sheet right now. Just knife tricks. That way we don't have to ask this question again. Of like, did we get it? Did we not? I don't know. Yeah, now we'll just know knife tricks. Boom. There you go. It's on your sheet now. Yeah, so you do this knife tricks, and the kid like hears it and then begins like leaning out from behind the tree trunk, and then sees what you're doing, and then she begins like you like look at the knife and look at her like, hey, it's pretty cool, right? It's pretty cool, and she does begin walking up to you, and for a moment she's just sort of enraptured by the sheer dexterity of these like you like juggling knives, flipping knives, and all that sort of stuff. And she just watches, and you can see out of the corner of her eyes, other people aren't approaching, but they are watching you as well. Eventually, you finish your knife performance, as weird as I used to say, your knife performance, and you like do like a flourishing sheath of all your blades. And then this little girl, she just begins like applauding, like furiously, like wow. She has like a big old giddy smile on her face, probably the happiest any twins it ever looks. Aside from Zol, I guess. But Zol's special. Do another. She wants more.
Impressed by the knife tricks. I'm glad you enjoyed them.
She nods up and down.
And does another one then.
Roll me the knife trick skill. I just put it under. It should be like underneath all your tools. About. Well, roll wise about the same. Effect wise, maybe not. Yeah, you begin doing more tricks, and as like you're doing this, you definitely feel a bit more. I guess you call it like performance anxiety, stage pressure, as more people begin like opening up their doors and looking at you. Most of them are armed with ranged weapons, but there are some others that are just sort of staring at you and be like, "You better not hurt that little shit, or I swear to the gods." Once again, you finish out your performance, except this time you end it with a knife throw, and it embeds perfectly, catching a leaf that you had disturbed and began folding left and right peacefully, and then bam, impaling the leaf against the tree. This little girl seems pretty happy with it. She's just clapping furiously, and then she like zips over to. Actually, let's find out. Okay. Yeah, she zips over to the knife. She teleports over to the knife.
Mm-hmm.
And begins examining it very, very intriguedly, very, very curious, very keen. And then Heifer just looks at you like, did you like? She just like was like a bit bug-eyed, like what? Did you just see that? And yeah, you totally just saw this kid sort of become, I guess, like how to describe it? Like a yellow golden flame swallows her into the earth, and then she gets burped out at the next spot. watching a kid get incinerated is not a normal thing. Just so we all know that. Although in fairness, she doesn't get burned by it. She just teleports.
Deep kind of like approaches the child and
She's
says,
struggling to pull the knife out of the wall or the tree. Yeah.
Deep says, knives can be fascinating, but remember, they're not toys. Safety is important, and she just pulls the knife out of the.
Yeah, you just grab it and give a tug like. Yes, ma'am.
She says, "What's your name?" Mine's Deep. Are you from this village?
Hello,
I'd
Deep.
like to hear more of your story and get to know you.
I'm Katya.
Katya. That's
Yeah,
a nice name.
Gotcha. She like thinks like goes like tiptoe to back of her feet, tiptoe back to her feet, like sort of like teetering. I don't really know what to say. This is my home. Everyone's really nice. The Jaeger protects us. The gods look out for us. She just thinks. Oh! I can do a trick, and then she like tries to cast magic. She totally fucking fails, apparently. She tries to manifest like a bowl of light, like a little micro like lantern or sun, in between her two palms, like holding it out. But then begins like puttering, like a fucking like not fully working oven or gas stove, and then it just fades. And she's like, "Aw, no, check this out." And then she tries another magic trick.
Hey.
She teleports again. She gets swallowed by an engulfment of fire, and then you've been looking around like, where'd she go? Up here. And she like you look up, and she's like on like 3 branches, like 15 feet up into the air, and she like waves at you. Friend is like staring at this, like, wow, that's pretty neat. And half begins clapping for the kid. I just think she's neat.
Is there any like possibility for like Deep to climb up?
Oh, absolutely, yeah, super easily.
Then she will do that, and go up to the kid and say, "That was quite surprising. How did you manage to teleport like that? Could you tell me more about your abilities?"
That she like kicks her feet back and forth. I've always been able to do it. Sort of. Sometimes when I get mad, I teleport. Or sad. It just happens. But I am trying my best to learn how to control it.
I see. Um, when do you know where your parents are?
She tilts her head. She like begins looking around, like scanning from this high up post. Papa is out hunting right now, I think. Mama's in. She points out one of the buildings. Yeah. She like squints. Roll her perception. Perception. Yeah, Katya is looking at something, but you don't exactly just see it. Not quite sure. Do you want to meet Mama?
Um, your mom is in what building?
She points out one of the furthest out buildings.
Another perception check?
Yeah, roll another one, sure. At Katya, so that's another nat 20. At Katya, like pointed out a second time, you're just like, where is it? Yeah, you see the village or the building that Katya lives in. You also see her mom looking at you through the shutters, very, very intensely. You get the feeling that she's not a fan of you hanging out with her daughter.
But your mum seems a bit agitated, me being here. Is there something you'd like to tell me?
She like squints. I can't see her. But if you want, we can get down.
Yes, I think it's more safer if we have you on the ground.
Okay. She tries to teleport again.
Maybe not teleport.
She tries, but it doesn't work. She's like, yeah, it doesn't work. Oh. She looks at you. Can you carry me?
Close, and she kind of picks the child
Yeah,
up.
she like Yoda climbs onto your back. And like hugs onto you, and you begin climbing down. Make me a religion roll. Straight. No advantage. Ugh. All is well in the world. All is well in the world. Don't worry about it. You climb down with Katya. And she hops off you. You do spot that Hafren's like looking around suddenly, like what the fuck was that? But she didn't say anything. She just keeps looking around.
Is something wrong?
Osmond was just telling me there's. She like keeps looking. I don't know. There's just something about this place that's kicking on. Katya is like no fucking clue what Hafren's talking about. And you hear a woman's voice shout Katya's name. And you see that the woman that was giving you the stink eye is like outside her front door and has walked like 20 paces in your guys' direction. It's like shouting for Katya. Oh, Mom is calling me. Bye. And she begins waving and leaves. Can she teleport? Let's go! She teleports. Let's go.
Wait, is it possible for like Deep to follow them?
I mean, you can walk up to them, sure. Katya just teleports like a good 60 feet.
Deep just zooming like.
Yeah, you walk up and the woman is like saying something to Katya. And what languages do you understand? In a language you don't understand. She's saying something to Katya. And it doesn't like you don't understand what they're saying, but you can just tell by the tone that her mom is not she's not angry, but she's not happy either. She's giving a very stern instruction to her child. You can't imagine about what. That's crazy. That's wild. Yeah, that's crazy. That's wild. She's just disappointed. No, she's not that either.
When you said she's not mad, I was like, she's just disappointed.
She's concerned. She's just concerned. But you walk up.
Talking to rogues.
Yeah, you walk up.
That's what the
And, like,
diamonds do.
She like sequesters Katya behind her leg and says to you in common, "What do you want?"
To intrude, I just would like to introduce myself. My name is Dee, and I've already met your lovely daughter.
She squints her eyes.
And you are. She extends her hand out.
Katya's mother. She does not shake your hand. She does not take your hand. She just stares at it and then at you.
Right. So I noticed you seemed a bit upset. Is everything alright? Maybe I could help with something?
No, everything is fine. Goodbye. She just grabs Katya and turns and walks away.
What a bitch.
Now, was that a stranger stank eye, or was that a you're an elf stank eye?
Oh.
Oh,
Roll insight.
You're an elf stranger.
Oh god.
Jesus, calm down! You're gonna be broke next week at this
You
rate.
need to stop. Please.
Lucy!
I can't help it!
I'm trying
Stop.
Oh my god, that's fucking
Good lord.
I'm
fantastic.
happy
Okay.
for you, but I'm also sad.
I'm just
yeah.
sad.
Once.
So D,
Please.
Kidding.
it's actually rather interesting. In all of your life, like depending on like no matter where you are, like racial profiling is just a thing. It's not necessarily always a bad thing. It's just something people note, right? This is probably one of the few, maybe only times they do not register that you are an elf. They just register you as a collective outsider faction. The race you are has no bearing on it whatsoever.
Mm.
All like what you look like, what your capabilities are, all this stuff, like ear type, skin type, complexion, accent, all that stuff, it doesn't matter to them. All they know is you're not from around here. You're all the same out there. It's a sort of weird blanket statement. So in a way, it's sort of nice that no one's profiling you for being an elf, but at the same time, it's also like, wait, does that mean you just never met any elves, or like what? Like how isolated is this place? So it's sort of nice, I guess. Halfren like walks up to you and like pats you on the back. Don't worry, it's a twinsian thing. She says with like a chipper smile, as if like it's okay for to be discriminatory as a twinsian, because it is. All these outsiders.
I understand the importance of community, but that was rude, right?
Halfren like looks off in the direction, and you can hear the door getting slammed shut to their house, and she just shrugs. I mean, I suppose you can take it like that. If I'm being honest, even in my hometown, that's pretty common. We didn't really like outsiders. They usually brought trouble. Well, they usually wanted something that we didn't. He shrugs.
I guess we shouldn't disturb them too much. They seem to like their isolation. At least the little girl was nice.
She nods up
I
and
was
down,
a
like,
bit
"Mhm."
strange.
Who knows? Maybe in time, this place might become less isolated, and that little girl can lead it out of here.
I hope so.
Eventually, the evening pulls in, and you have dinner with Jägersvea and your companions and stuff like that. Do you do anything once nighttime hits, or are you content in just resting after a long day of trekking? Swamp trekking.
I will go and take rest.
Okay. Make me a religion check, please, with advantage. Not bad.
It's a 20.
It's a dirty 20, but yeah. Nothing to freak out about, alright? Yeah, so as you and all of your crew are resting, you do like spot/see. He's not making like particular over effort and like you cannot see me, but moreover, he's just being quiet for courtesy's sake. Like you don't want to wake people up by being a loud ass. You do see Yegas take he leaves, like he walks outside. Just you can just see him on the porch, like just sort of a quote unquote porch is like front porch, like if around area. And he just sort of like chills, puts his hands behind his back, look out at the village, which is decent, like not fully illuminated, but by the moonlight and everything, it does like it's decently visible. And you're just like, huh, that's interesting. And you just sort of feel this presence behind you, and you turn around, and you know something's in front of you. You can sort of see the distortion in the air. Whether or not you would quantify it as or qualitate it as invisible, I don't know, because you can't see its like shape and silhouette. Here's a good imagery for it. You ever see a really hot street, the heat waves that radiate off of it? A really hot day, just heat waves. I guess you're also seeing some fucking movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it just sort of bounces off the street, and thus there's like a sort of like wiggly effect off of the street and stuff like that. It's like that, except like culminated and condensed into one spot, and that's like right in front of you. Like I'm talking like less than a foot in front of you. Can you make me an intelligence saving throw, please? You can choose to fail this if you want. Smile. Oof. Okay. This creature in front of you has now gained 3 insights from you. It has pulled from your mind where have you been in the last week, generally, what your reason is for being here, and how lethal are you? It has pulled those 3 things from your mind just now. As you begin feeling sort of sick, like feverish. It doesn't last all that long. It lasts all like 5-10 minutes. And this entire time, this figure is like looming over you, and you are paralyzed. You are like locked in this way. And it just sort of like looms over you. And for a moment, you can sort of see, I guess, its form. It's, if you want to call it that. It's this sort of... you know what? I'll just send it to you. I'll just send it to you. I'll just send it to you. Let me scrub the name first. That'll be a bit too spoiler. Let me scrub the name first. Just scrub it. There you go. There you go. And then let me send it to you, and there you go.
Crazy if this is where the Enlighteners originated from. That'd be wild.
That'd be wild, man. That'd be crazy.
Oh god.
So you sort of see that figure there for a minute, or not a minute, a moment, a singular moment, a second, as like a wave of energies are sort of ripples across it, and you could sort of see the visible parts of it through that little wave as it sort of scans across its sort of semi, like translucent, fully translucent rather form, just sort of almost like a predator. But once it pulls the information out of you, it pulls away and fades away. And you're good. The feverish sensation fades. And you're no longer paralyzed.
Does Deep remembers recognize any that creature from anywhere?
Roll me your Arcana or your History.
Arcana or History, or just History?
Or Arcana or History. Show me what you got. It definitely seems familiar. You just can't place exactly where. To be fair, the orientation of it is very. Actually, I'll give you advantage just because like it is very striking. It is very unique in its appearance. So if you saw it, you feel like you'd be able to recognize. So roll one more time. Watch it be in that one. Really pretty funny. I go Keck. Well, it's not that one, but I'll go Keck anyways. Keck. Yeah, it's bugging you. You're just like, I've seen something like this before recently. Where the fuck did I see it? It bugs you. To be fair, it's like 3 o'clock at night. So you are fucking tired, so maybe that's why. Regardless, you aren't harmed. Like, you don't take any damage. The thing doesn't do anything else that you spot. Diego Svea does enter back in as you're like sort of collecting yourself. And he just like walks past you, notes that you're awake, and then he walks over to you and crouches down. So you saw it?
By it, you mean that demon?
Close, but opposite in certain ways.
Do you know why I saw it, or what?
They were trying to see what you are doing here. Judge you worthy or unworthy.
But why?
You can never be
Is there
too safe
something
out
we don't
here.
know? Is there something you'd like to tell us as a group?
No. Other than you are allowed to leave here tomorrow. Unassailed. Good night, Miss Deet. He stands up and walks away back to his room.
Is it possible for thee to head over to where Zol is sleeping, and then?
Yeah, he's on the couch.
Yeah.
Go over to the couch. Zol's like snoring a little bit. Oh, it's the logs. Chopping.
I wonder what he's dreaming about.
He's kicking his leg like a dog.
He can move his arm like chopping wood.
Chop.
That's chopping.
Quietly, he just goes timber.
Chop the wood. he's pretty sound. He's pretty soundly asleep at times.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know that might be a bit startling to hear, but he is pretty soundly asleep.
Doesn't want to wake him, so she just like squeeze in.
Yeah, squeeze in, gives you a hug, pulls you close. It definitely does get a bit cold out here. Definitely not freezing by any means, but you know, there's not exactly central heating in this fucking place, so you gotta make do what you got. But yeah, morning does arrive. You are not assassinated in your sleep. You don't see that figure ever again. Although you do understand now what that presence is, like that you've been sort of feeling like we're being watched. It was totally that thing. Like being upfront confrontation with it, you're just like, that's the source. Cool. Nice. But yeah, you guys are free to leave. And you know, Jägersfeia does give you guys a bit of like supplies before you guys head out. Nothing major. It's like all of like 1 or 2 days worth of rations. But he does remark that, you know, if you're starving, 2 days can last you more than just 2 days. Hypothetically. So, be mindful. But, yeah, you and your group leave. In pretty quick time, might I say, for finding a village that has never been found in all of history, you guys found it in, like, 10 days. And some of those days were used to travel out here. and some of those days are used to travel back. So basically a week. That's about as long as it took you. Just a week of looking around.
Built different.
Built different. To be fair, you knew what to look for, or rather, you knew that there was something to look for. But yeah, you guys head back to Duvros. You head back to Duvros.
The whole gang's back together.
And yeah, the whole game's back together.
Bro.
Except, actually, let me think about that. Tolis and Delvet would be back as with Varric. As you guys are regrouping, all together now, can you all roll me your insights?
Sure.
I don't know what I would have been doing in the interim.
Oh wait, shit! Did I skip you? Did I actually fucking skip you? Am I crazy?
You might have actually.
Oh
Yeah.
shit! No, you did.
I am so sorry.
Oh.
Alright,
All right.
Tell him get the fuck
Roll
out.
it back. Don't inside.
Tell him get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. Yeah, I'm so sorry. What is Sajor up to?
I
I think I
what
quoted
what
the time skip like you and Zolomus as to what you were doing, but that's not true.
That might have been it. Yeah. So the first thing is probably he would